Obviously, it's good to put zeros up on the board, but, you know, it can't have big innings. It's one bad inning again, and body felt fine. Obviously, it's hot, but just the execution on some of the two-strike pitches and even earlier in the counts just needs to be better.
Isn't this part of the process, though, that you have to go through to get to where you want to be?
Of course. I mean, you got to face the division leaders, you got to face the rivals, you got to face some of the better teams in baseball right now, and, you know, we won, which is great, and we win, and we're able to take a lesson out of it as well.
So you face what, Mets, Dodgers, and the Cubs. So I mean, you've been thrown into the fire.
Totally.
Do you appreciate that? Do you like that challenge?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you got to view everything as a test, especially like when you're young in your career. It's always a blessing to be up here, be with this team, especially how they're playing baseball right now. But especially with what you're thrown into and who you're facing, it's like, all right, sweet. Like, this is a great test, and like, it's a great opportunity to get better every day.
How much of a stress test is that? To be in the spot where you know these games are coming, you can prep for this start, you know the magnitude of the series, you know what the temperature is going to be like, to do that and also stay inside of yourself and be able to kind of pitch your game.
Yeah, of course.
Test where you're at.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's how bad do you want to be a big leaguer? The ball doesn't care. My college coach always tells us, back when I was in college, is the ball doesn't care how you feel. You could be racking up frequent flyer miles. You could be driving up from Memphis the night before, flying in Chicago day of. It just doesn't care. So you have a job to do when you step out on that field. And, you know, I'm trying to give the team as many innings as I can. I wish I could have gave more today. Glad we were able to pull out with a win, but, you know, it's got a job to do.
Okay, you had the one rough inning, but how important was it to come behind that with zeros?
Yeah, definitely helps when your offense picks you up big, like immediately. I think we were down 1 run after that inning, after Mason had the homer. Then you just got to treat it like a 1-0 ball game, like you're trailing, you're on the attack, and, you know, just because runs came across the board doesn't mean you can, like, you know, cry and shy away from things. You got to keep going after guys, and they want to put up more runs, we want to put up more runs, and it's a matter of how you you bounce back.
Did anything shift for you after that big inning, or was it just kind of the stubbornness to stay with this?
Yeah, it's just, you know, you got to stay with it. And, you know, the last thing I want is to be pulled after 3 innings, and despite a bad inning, I mean, you know, I don't want to have bad innings, but I know I'll have plenty more bad innings in my career, and I know I'm going to have great innings in my career, hopefully more great than bad. But, you know, it's like I said, the ball doesn't care how you feel, and you're right back into it, and then you got to put up zeros.
So you have points to see how deep you can get into the game at that point.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. You know, it stinks when you're 4 2/3. That's always a stinger, especially when you get called up for a job, and how this year has been going. And just want to provide as many innings as I can, and meaningful innings as well. And, you know, like, while it didn't really necessarily go super long today, you know, guys like Steve, Phil, JoJo, Helsley to pick me up, and especially offense to pick me up helps.